Hello everyone, happy Gymuary. It's time for a GunPla review. This time the RGM-79G Gym Command. This is the ground type command unit, not the space type command unit. And not to be mixed up with the standard ground, which also uses a G, but it's in brackets because reasons. Anyhow, this was an interesting kit. It is from the gold number era. What do I mean by that? I mean this. It has a little gold number in the corner, and that's how you know it's from the gold number era. So it's an older kit. It has a few issues because of that. We'll get into those in a moment. But first, whoosh, here he is. The Gym Command. Let's just take a quick look at his accessories before we go into anything else. You have the bullet machine gun, one of my favorite guns that gyms can use. Maybe it's because I played Rise from the Ashes a little too much. Maybe it's just because I'm a gym nerd. I don't know. I love that gun. You also have the command shield, which looks different than the standard gym shield. I actually really like this shield design. And, of course, we have the Toothpick Beam Saber. I hate these things. These pre-molded types are disgusting. They look terrible. You have to paint them to make them even remotely usable, and even then it's still going to look pretty bad. In addition to that, we have, of course, the open hand for the left-hand side. The closed hand is currently equipped. And, if I can find it, and a different shield holder, which I believe this is for the standard gym shield. I'm not entirely certain, but I have a spare one now. Yay! And last but not least, of course, we had a handful of spare poly caps. Helpful if you ever lose or damage some in the process of building some of your kits. Now, there's one thing I want to point out on the unit that's very important, is that, yes, it has a terrible beam saber option. However, as you can tell, it has two beam sabers here, and one of them is missing. Why? Wherever could it be? It's right here. Yep, this is the handle that you would have for your kits, and this is a blade actually from a Leo. It's a smaller blade, and I figured that would be more appropriate for a gym type unit. So if you want your gym to go melee, you do have an option for that, as long as you have some spare beam saber blades. Now the only issue will be that the right hand does not have a spare holding hand, it just has the trigger finger. So you're either going to have to make your unit left-handed, which isn't that hard to do, you just swap the shield to the other side, no big deal. Or you need to have a spare hand and make sure it's painted the right colors. So that can be a pain to do, but not an impossibility. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at the flexibility, and I'll talk about the building in a second. So first off, the head does not have almost no left or right here. You can tell, it's barely can do it. Has kind of a forward back a little bit. The little antenna here doesn't really move. It can, because mine is loose, but I don't think it's supposed to. The backpack has nothing that moves except for the removable beam sabers. Shield is on a little hook thing, so it'll pivot. Unfortunately, I'm holding it right now, but trust me, there is a pivot thingy right there. You can see it. So you can pivot it around. It is held in his holding hand right now, however. Arm can go all the way around, and it holds its gun properly. Oh my gosh. Not a lot of bend to the elbow. You can kind of see, just kind of that. And the hand can turn 360. I'm not going to do it for the gun in there because it's going to be really awkward, but trust me on that. The gun does go 360. Side flaps, move the arm up. Can kind of move a little bit. There we go. And the front flaps can move. That didn't sound good. But yep, they can you can force them up. There is no movement on the back flaps for the legs. Yeah, not much in terms of side kick. Forward kick does pretty good. The back, obviously, don't take that down. Back doesn't go that far because of the lock and place thing there. For knee bend, not too bad for a single joint. I'll be honest. Some of the other gym kits don't do that, and good luck finding a Zaku and the older type that does that. This goes up and down, a little bit of left and right, up and down on the foot. Not a lot of movement, but it is a gym, so I don't know who's going to put him in some sort of crazy over-the-top action pose. The build was relatively easy. Very few things caused trouble outside of the little antenna that fell off. I meant to glue that back in. I'm not sure if I glued it in or not. I may have glued it in, actually. It seems to be very sturdy now, so I probably did. But I think it was the only thing that caused any issue in this build. There are quite a few stickers. There's a couple that are on the legs. There's one on the backpack here. There is one on the little crotchal region here. So you got a few others around here, I believe. So it has a few stickers. Most of them are just to give the little arms. That's right, arms. To give the unit a little more of that ground type gym look. Interestingly enough, there is no sticker for the shield. I was expecting, some sort of insignia or something. There isn't anything. So the shield is nice and clean. It has very much that look of a 1979 gym, which is what I like. I like that aesthetics matching. The original coloration, as I started building it, I really didn't like. The box, it looked fine, but when I started building, I'm like, ooh, this gray and yellow just doesn't work for me. But as I put it together, it actually blends really well and looks really nice. In addition to that, another thing it does that I also really like is in the helmet. It's hard to tell on camera, but the little cameras here are actually part of the same piece as the frame for the visor. So it's all part of the same part that clicks into there. I prefer that over the stickers. It just looks so much nicer. I really like this kit. It's a lot of fun. There's some options for what you want to do with weaponry, especially if you have other gyms lying around. Although why you would want to use anything other than the blow-up machine gun is beyond me, unless you want to give him a hyper bazooka or something along those lines. In addition to that, the beam sabers having the holes in them so they can actually be used with beam saber blades is a wonderful thing. I wish every single one was molded that way, because some of them are not. Overall, it's a great kit, great value. It might not be for everyone, but if you have a ground type forces and you need to have a gym commander there leading the way, because they're not being led by, say, a RX-79 Gundam, then this is a great option in there. It looks cool, it looks different. I love the coloration, like I said before. It really sets it apart from other units. And when it's all set up, it looks pretty imposing, especially for a gym. I hope this has helped your GunPla purchasing decision. Thank you for watching, and before you head out, could you please like and subscribe? It only takes a few seconds for you, but it really helps out small content creators like me. In addition to that, because it's Gymuary, let me know in the comments what your favorite gym is. And until next time, I'm the Dapper Bard, and I'll see you at the tavern.